is gearing up for a Kharkiv offensive, specifically so they can turn around and easily take over other territories in eastern Ukraine. That's what the American military analysts think, by the way. That's not my assessment. I don't know. I don't know enough.
Ukrainians are fleeing with what they can. Quick, this policeman shouts. If you want to live, let's go. Officers are going door to door, guns at the ready.
I think your takes on Iran, while mostly true, is accidentally misleading. Iranian government not being good is a huge understatement. Iranian government is the most horrific tyrant in the Middle East in terms of behavior towards their own people. Bro, there is not a single fucking day where I've been like, yo, I love Iran. Iran is actually fucking awesome. I don't know why chatters literally turn around and repeat things that I also agree with. Like, it's so fucking stupid. I don't know. I don't know what else you guys want from me. What do you want me to say? Like, I don't understand it. The Iranian government is awful. And we are directly responsible for its power and influence, both in the region and both in Iran as well. Oh my God. I don't know why. I don't know why people make it seem as though I'm not aware of this. Aren't UAE and Saudi Arabia like actual slave states though? Not that Iran is good, but it's not like they're much worse. Yes, this is at the end of the day, people never expect me to fucking criticize UAE or Saudi Arabia under the similar terms of Iran, even though they do the exact same shit. The only difference is that they literally just have American support. So Americans are not trained into being like, well, what about all this other stuff that's going on in Saudi Arabia or the UAE? That's it. None of which is good, by the way.
As they evacuate citizens in Vovchansk, which for a week now has been the focal point of a Russian advance that has stunned Ukraine.
The town is constantly shelled. More than 20 guided bombs hit Vovchansk just yesterday. It is dangerous to stay in the town.
Russia today said they had now taken 12 settlements in the Kharkhiv region, with Ukraine's top commander warning of heavy battles to come. Ukraine's military released video of what it said was their soldiers firing at Russian forces, as President Zelensky said they were stabilizing the region.
Thanks
to our forces, we've managed.
There's more slavery in the U.S. Than Saudi by far. What do you mean, source, chatter? He's not wrong. We house 25% of the entire fucking planet's prisoner population. The fuck do you think is going on? That literally, the fact that you said source to that unironically implies that we are so far removed from the reality. It's the same principle behind those guys have work camps and gulags. We have prisons. Okay? Our enemies have gulags. We have prisons. It's different. It's not fucking different. It's just a way to shelter Americans from the truth that our country is not the freest country on the planet. Far from it. That's it. Yeah. Those countries are barbaric. They engage in bribery. We, on the other hand, are not barbaric. We do lobbying. Chatters are... Here's why I know I have a great community, because chatters already fucking know all the talking points. So they turn around and say it in the chat over and over again. I love that. Nah, Saudi is not a place you want to go whataboutist on this, though. The indentured servitude there is insane. Yeah, all the Gulf states have fucking insane indentured servitude. Except, what are we talking about here in America? Not only do we have fucking prisons, but we also have literal immigrant detention facilities where there is still also, like, we have slavery in our prison system, and we have a fucking unlimited amount of undocumented immigrants that we abuse. Once again, yes, Saudi Arabia brings in immigrants, or Gulf nations bring immigrants and then take their fucking passports and enslave them. That is true. We don't take people's fucking passports, but we literally abuse them all the same. We put them in the poultry facilities, though. Instead of having them come and fucking clean our houses, and we throw them out off of the houses or whatever. It's across the board bad. It's across the board immoral and wrong. But you have to remember that. All the while, we're having this conversation on which country has taken what position on genocide. And it is pretty obvious what the Saudi government's position is, pretty obvious what the American government's position is, okay, directly funding and facilitating it. Saudi is aiding and abetting it. America is directly funding and facilitating it. Israel is doing it. Iran, on the other hand, is at the very least funding the Popular Resistance Front against it. So there you go. This conversation is specifically on those terms. Genocide. Who's doing it? Who's resisting against it? That's it. I agree with everything you said, as I am Saudi myself, but we do not hold passports. Where'd you get this from? Fox News? You think, first of all, Saudi chatters, do you think Fox News would ever say the Saudi government or there's a system of indentured servitude in Saudi Arabia where they withhold passports? Are you crazy? They only say that about Qatar. They never say that about Saudi Arabia. Mohammed bin Salman gave an English interview to Fox News. Mohammed bin Salman gave his only English-speaking interview to Fox News. Just saying.
Managed to build confidence in the direction of Vovchansk. However, Russian shelling and threats persist. Our counterattacks are ongoing, including in other parts of the Kharkiv area.
The chatter is not wrong. In these 2 years, holding passports has become illegal in the country. First of all, great. I'm really glad that the Saudi charm offensive is working in Saudi Arabia. Okay. Listen, I want to go to Saudi Arabia and play at the Live Golf Tournament just as much as you do, okay? Just as much as the next guy. And the takes will continue on this front as well. It still happens regardless of whether the government has now officially made it illegal or not. It's kind of like saying, excuse me, Hasan, it is actually illegal for corporations to hire undocumented immigrants in this country. Hello, we are a nation of laws. Oh yeah? Is that why fucking Purdue and other agricultural producers sick ice on their own fucking facilities? I thought that shit was illegal. Turns out these very same American corporations utilize the Department of Homeland Security as a mechanism to clean their ranks of laborers that are maybe speaking out against the horrifying conditions. Doesn't matter. It's not about whether something is illegal. It's about whether there is enough enthusiasm to enforce that. Let's continue.
It was last Friday that Russia mounted a ground assault in the Kharkiv region, with their forces now advancing near Vovchansk, as well as Lipitsy and Kupiansk. Today, Ukraine said they were also preparing for a possible assault on the Sumy region, claiming that Russia had a small unit of forces gathering there. That would open yet another front in this war, with Moscow's heaviest strikes still occurring in the eastern Donetsk region, with Russian soldiers also advancing on Donetsk city. Vladimir Putin may be thousands of miles away, but he still has a firm grip on events. He was in Harbin today, celebrating Russia's ties to China. Trade with Beijing is now up 64% since the war began. He said that the assault in Kharkiv was to create a buffer zone to protect Russian cities from Ukrainian attacks.
As for what is happening in Kharkiv, this is also Ukraine's fault. They continue to shoot residential areas in the border territories. We will be forced to create a buffer zone. This is what we are doing. As for Kharkiv, there are no such plans today to capture the city.
Ukraine unleashed drone attacks, with this one setting fire to an oil refinery on the Black Sea, forcing an emergency shutdown. Russia has blamed Western forces for allowing these attacks deep inside Russia and warned them they were playing with fire. Yet it is Moscow who started this war and began the flames that still burn from Kharkiv down to the south, as yet more and more Ukrainians flee for their lives.
Super Bowl champion Chiefs kicker HasanPiker getting some backlash after his commencement speech at a Catholic university for comments he made about gay rights, abortion, and the role of women in society. Stephanie